Joining us is the founder and treasurer of the Blue America PAC, which raises money for progressive and socialist candidates around America. He also writes Down with Tyranny, which I find very amusing right now because the ink isn't even dry on the election. They haven't even brought in the new Congress. And already Howie Klein is looking for primary challenges for Gil Cisneros. We saw this historical shift in Orange County, which has turned blue. The birthplace of Reaganomics has turned blue. And already Howie Klein is looking to find primary challenges for 2020. Hi, Howie Klein.
Hey, I'm happy to talk about that, as a matter of fact. So Gil Cisneros, by the way, you said Orange County turned blue. Gil Cisneros lies to people and says he became a Democrat in 2008. He actually became a Democrat in, I think, 2011 or 12. But in any case, he became a Democrat. Now, I don't know what that means exactly, that he became a Democrat. I was reading today that Mike Bloomberg, who's running for president, says he became a Democrat because they can provide some kind of balance to Trump. But neither he nor Cisneros is addressing the idea of what do Democratic Party values mean and what do the Democratic Party values mean to them, because neither of them has anything to do with Democratic Party values. I mean, Mike Bloomberg, is worth something between 46 and 51 billion with a B dollars. And, you know, I mean, I think that 90% of that, over $1 million, should be taxed at a rate of 90%. I doubt he would agree. But that is the way things are headed, hopefully. And Mike Bloomfeld has nothing to do with the Democratic Party.
Michael
He's just
Bloomberg.
Some billionaire. Mike Bloomfeld. Bloomfeld is a great guitar player, by the way. Mike, and so therefore has contributed more to the world than Mike Bloomberg ever will. Mike Bloomberg wants to run for president. I don't know why. I mean, I don't know. I mean, not for the same reasons that Trump did, but who needs another one of these crappy billionaires? In any case, let's get back to Cisneros. Cisneros changed parties he says the reason he changed is because the Republicans had become too ideological. That's an exact quote, too ideological. Of course, the Democratic Party isn't ideological at all. It doesn't stand for anything. It's just a big tent party that stands for whatever anybody who gets into the tent says it stands for. So the reason I got all worked up over him today was because just when Seth Moulton's coup attempt against Nancy Pelosi was dying, since other members are leaving it, Gil Cisneros jumps in, having just won by a narrowest of margins and in a very kind of peculiar way. I mean, you mentioned Orange County. Well, part of the district is in L.A., part of the district is in, what is that called, that other county, San Bernardino County. But most of the district is Orange County. He lost Orange County. Absolutely lost it.
Was he a Frito-Lay's taster?
Yes, I'll get to that in a minute.
So he's already orange from the Frito-Lay. Go ahead, sorry.
Enough votes came in from L.A. at the last minute. So these are, in other words, the Democratic Party machine knows how to manufacture votes. So he had lost this election in Orange County and in San Bernardino. Suddenly the L.A. Democratic machine shows up with a whole bunch of votes that they claim, belong to him. So he managed to win by, a narrow, 1% or whatever it was. So here he is, yes, a former potato chip taster for Frito-Lay. I might add, by the way, since you brought up the potato chip tasting, is that he had been fired as a potato chip taster by Frito-Lay, presumably because he got into the potato chips and ate too many of them and was cutting into their profits. And he had warned not to do that, and he kept doing it, and they caught him a few times. And then they said, if you do it again, you're fired. And he did it again. He got fired.
Is this true?
2 weeks, he wins the a $265 million jackpot, I think this is what it's called, but a gigantic lottery. And then he didn't care about Frito-Lay being fired from Frito-Lay's anymore and stopped begging them for his job back. He could buy all the potato chips he wanted to eat after that, which he did. He blew up like a balloon. So he, in any case, ran for Congress. He in a different district than his own. So he lives in a gigantic mansion on the ocean. and that district wasn't available to him, so he ran in a much bluer district inland that has no ocean, and I don't know if he's going to move there. I assume not. Who would he's got a nice mansion on the beach in one of the poshest little tiny towns in the United States, where every single person in the town is a multimillionaire. It's a very, very small little town. Anyway, he and some of the servants are not multimillionaires who live there, but the people who own the homes are multimillionaires. In any case, he today came out and said that he will join the Seth Moulton coup attempt against Nancy Pelosi. So this is a coup attempt that other people have decided to drop out of. So first we have Brian Higgins from Buffalo, New York, who says he's not part of it anymore. He withdrew his name and he dropped out. And then Stephen Lynch from Boston, another very conservative Democrat, he dropped out. He says, no more. I'm not part of it anymore. So the whole thing was falling apart. This morning, Seth Moulton was begging Pelosi for some kind of face-saving gesture. And all of a sudden, in plops the potato chip taster, and he signs on to the letter, breathing new life into the whole effort to screw up the Democratic Party. So in terms of primarying these people, remember, primarying isn't like I'm getting some Republican to run. So it's not like districts that have just turned blue are suddenly going to turn red. That's not the idea. The idea is to find someone better. When someone is an ex-Republican, rarely, and it does happen, rarely do they then become a good Democrat. There are lots and lots of ex-Republicans in Congress. They're all bad. The exception to that rule, as far as I know, there might be others I don't know about, but the one exception is a great exception, and that is Elizabeth Warren. She grew up a Republican, and once she, started realizing what's going on, she changed to become a Democrat, and she's a great Democrat.
Great. Howie Klein is the founder and treasurer of the Blue America PAC, which raises money for progressive candidates and socialist candidates. And you can read them over at Down with Tyranny. Thank you, sir. We'll talk to you next week.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you.